And so you are, I mean, this is your first time of buying real estate, or you're just about to buy real estate, and you're wondering, which should you start with? Is it lands or houses? Which is easier to start from, right? Then this video is for you. We're going to try to dissect, and we're going to try to, analyze which is best for you, especially as a first-time buyer, or you're just entering real estate for the first time. Even if you've bought before, but you now want to increase your portfolio, and most especially buying like in a city like Abuja. So the answers we're going to be giving, in this video is really, really going to help you. But before we can answer it or guide you on which you should start with, lands or houses, there are a few questions that we must first try to tackle. And I'm excited doing this actually because, I know a lot of people, if you get it right in your first time, you would get it right all the way. You know how you start something and then you get it right the first time and then you're doing other ones is correct. So the first place to usually start from is why you are buying. Like, why are you even buying a property? There are several reasons why people buy.
Exactly.
They buy to use, they buy for capital gain, that's investment. So you want to buy and sell off later for increase in income. Others want cash flow. So they want something that will be giving them steady money, no matter how small, regularly, like stability. These are several reasons why, people buy real estate. So which one is it for you, right? That is the first thing to think through, settle down and think through. You also want to ask yourself specifically, do I want to buy to use or do I want to buy for investment, right? So if you're looking, to buy to use, then we're not trying to now dissect that one. Or if you're looking to buy for investment, then we dissect that as well. At the end of the day, what is your goal for investment, right? Yeah. So that will now determine land or houses, which should be best for you, especially as a first-time buyer.
So that explains why if you're ever going to buy or invest in anything real estate, the goal matters.
Exactly. Very
goal
important.
Always makes it very clear for you. You now know a clear, short way on what you want to achieve. And that is what this video is expected to help you know and understand. So when it comes to land, let me talk about land. There's this low entry that land gives you if you are starting up, because we're talking about first-time buyers. All right, we're not saying that there are no first-time buyers that have money.
I mean, you have money, you're good.
That's not the case here. The case here is that people who are starting out, they want to understand how real estate market works.
Yeah.
They want to see how it is. Land, most of the time, is a safer option for you, because if you get it right the first time, most times you constantly invest in real estate.
Exactly.
We don't want a situation where you try for the first time and you get your fingers burnt. You'll now run in such a way that I'll never invest in real estate again. Okay, so land gives you a lower cost. You have opportunities of 5 million naira land, 10 million naira land. You can start with that and you see how it turns out. You do another one, another one, and that is how you build your wealth. We also talk about flexible payment plan.
Exactly.
Sometimes if you are buying a house that is already fully finished, sometimes the owner or the person who builds it will expect highest 2 installments you have to complete. All right. But in land, you are purchasing land. Sometimes you get 3 months payment plan, even 6 months with a little bit of interest. But the case here is that you have flexible payment option. Then the next one is the last thing here is that you're not starting with excess cash. Like I said, there's that thing you want to test the waters first. So you put your first leg in the water to know how is it going? Is it good? All right, then you can now go on ahead. So you don't need to arrive before you start. You don't need to say, oh, I've gotten this, let me start. You can start with what you have and use payment plan and start building wealth for yourself as a first-time buyer.
Absolutely. And, I mean, again, goes back to why are you buying?
Go.
You know, and that's why, like she said, you don't have to get your fingers burnt all the way. Just imagine as a first-time buyer, you start out and you put in, say, how much is that? 750
Million naira.
for your first investment. And then because you've not learned the ropes, unfortunately for you, you did not meet Browdy. You now met somebody else, and then they now scam you. Ever buy land? Will you ever invest in real estate again? You know,
Very difficult.
very difficult. And so, let us talk about how money is made in real estate. Let's just delve in a bit to see that part, because as a first-time buyer, let's assume I'm going to now assume that you're looking to appreciate your money. You're looking to grow your money. You're trying to leverage real estate as both a means to hedge your fund against inflation, as well as grow your wealth organically, gradually. Now, let us analyze this a bit. So for land, especially, in developing areas, or areas we call emerging areas, they appreciate really fast and good, right? They appreciate quite good. Especially, like I said, because there are some places you buy land, it has reached this peak of appreciation.
True.
Right? Even if it appreciates, it won't go more than maybe 5 to 10% again, right? However, there are places that don't look like it. They don't look like it. And like, once you know this is the things to look out for, and then you go on time.
Exactly.
And then position yourself, that is where the real money is made.
Exactly.
Houses, on the other hand, first of all, they can be really, really pricey.
True.
Especially as a first-time buyer. And like she rightly said, if you have the money, that's okay. And you feel like your objective is a house. That is, you need something you want to go and live in like immediately, or you need something you want to use as fast as possible, then that is fine. However, first of all, houses are very, very capital intensive. Now we are trying to address first-time buyers that don't have a lot of money and are still trying to understand how the market works, right? And so the costs can be high. Number two, houses require maintenance. They require maintenance. Number three, they age over time. And so again, it still boils down to maintenance, which means you're constantly going to have to be working on them, upgrading them, and then they can depreciate if not maintained properly.
True.
Lands, on the other hand, doesn't require maintenance. True. I mean, whether it rains on the land, fire burns the land, sun hit the land, so long as that is land, like it is there, and whether it burns or grass grow, it just keeps appreciating, for you, right? Especially when you buy right and you secure it properly, So back to the point, what is your goal? Okay, that is the main thing right now. So if your goal is to grow money, that is, save your money from inflation, from the devaluation, as well as leverage real estate as a vehicle to build your wealth, right? Then land should be what you're looking at, because land gives you simpler ownership. Owning it is quite easier, like it's simpler. You can also pay over time. I mean, with land, you're given opportunity to pay, installmentally, especially as a first-time buyer. You don't need hundreds and thousands of millions, to buy. You can start with as low as 10 million or less, especially in a city like Abuja, and then grow your portfolio over time. You can also invest in other places, not just in one place. Imagine taking a 750 million to buy one house, as against using that same, say, 750 million to buy several places, So that leverage is actually what, land gives you. And that's why most first-time buyers that are wealth builders, they are focused on building wealth. First, look at land. they first invest in lands, and then over time, start, buying houses or flipping houses or whichever one they want, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So basically,
All right. So the next thing we are going to talk about, because now we've got out some things off the road, we are clear on your goals. We are clear that, okay, you need this to start.
absolutely.
But there's one big enemy that always stares you in the face. Because, I mean, you want to do something great, you want to do something amazing for your life, but
Yeah.
there's always that enemy that will stand by the road.
Exactly.
What is that? Overthinking.
Overthinking.
Sometimes you overthink yourself out of the deal.
Yes.
You want to think and ask yourself questions that, in fact, the questions will literally take you out of an opportunity.
Absolutely.
So how do you not analyze so much that you miss great opportunities that come your way? Okay, so you get to ask, for example, people say, oh, I'll have to wait, right? The moment you are waiting or the time you are waiting, the time is going.
Exactly.
You also want to say, I want to know more. I want to get to hear from different people. So you've heard from one person, you want to hear from the second person, you want to hear from another. At the end of the day, you feel more confused than you started. You now be like, I want to wait, let me breathe small.
Yes.
All right, time is going.
Absolutely.
And another thing that comes in the way is that you want to be sure, is this a great opportunity? All those feelings are always there, all right? So how do you overcome this analysis paralysis? And we want a situation where at the end of 1 year, you want to look back and be like, I'm so happy with myself that I did this,
Exactly.
right? Because prices of these properties don't wait for
They
you.
keep moving up.
They keep moving up, all right? You've heard people say things like, I knew when this location was selling for
Exactly.
this amount, even somebody met me, all right? And you'll be saying it. A part of you will always say, I would have known.
Yeah.
All right. But that's not the case. The case here is that you don't have to have perfect conditions to start this.
Exactly.
You need to have a great starting point.
Exactly.
And that's what we give you. We give you leverage. We give you opportunity to see us for who we are, invest with us, use payment plan, know if these people are real, are they real human beings, are they people who are just out to collect your money and run away?
Exactly.
All those time you have with us, we help you invest safe and smart.
Absolutely. I mean, we're not against you doing your due diligence. It's very important to you do your investigations. Very important.
Yeah.
You open your eyes, hire professionals,
Exactly.
that can help you along the way. But once the indices are right, I mean, just go ahead.
Okay.
Opportunities are opportunity in hindsight. You don't see them, you don't see opportunities right now,
Yeah.
right? It's in hindsight. It's when you look back and be like, oh, thank God I did this. It's not usually all the dots don't have to line up, right? So long as the most important dots line up, you've known why you're buying, you have done investigation, and you're certain that the person selling actually has the right to sell, then just move on. Overthinking and analysis paralysis is one of the biggest hindrance and thieves of opportunities. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let us talk about costs. There are some extra costs, that usually comes with either buying houses or land. It's always there.
It's there.
All right. And it's important you know everything all the way. It's important that as you're making your decision, you already have the facts and figures all along the way. So that as you're thinking about the cost of the land, you're also thinking about these other costs. Some people call it hidden costs or hidden charges. We will call them open costs because we tell you openly that this is what they are. So the first, let's look at lands, for instance. When you're buying land, yes, as much as I say that when you buy land, whether it's raining or it's shining, the land is appreciating.
Exactly.
But there are some costs you make immediately after buying the land, right? Like your documents. Of course, you pay for your documents in some cases. In other cases, of course, is built into the cost.
Exactly.
And others give you free. We were very happy people, so we give you for free.
Exactly.
Right? Then infrastructure, right? There's infrastructural development fees usually. These fees are what is used in developing the estate, especially when you're buying an estate land, right?
Exactly.
Even if you're buying a government
Individual
individual land, you still pay some of these infrastructural levies. But yeah, infrastructural levies, these are fees, like I said, that takes care of things like the infrastructure development within the estate,
Estates.
right? Like the electricity, the water, if there are any extra things like a lifestyle estate or whatever it is inside the estate, that fees cover those things, right?
Yeah.
Then we have a development levy. So usually this, for a city like Abuja, this fees is actually used in excavating, in plotting your land, excavating it, and a few other things before you start building, right? So for land, these fees are usually paid when you want to build on the land, right? That is usually what land is. For some people, they'll tell you to pay it almost immediately, depending on the estate.
Exactly.
But some others will just say, okay, you know what? When you're ready to build, then you get to pay this. Now, these are some of the fees you pay for land. For houses, usually the maintenance fee. So usually for houses, these extra fees, infrastructure development, they're usually not paid as like extra, right? You paid is built into the cost of the houses usually, right? The only fees you get to pay is something they call service charge, where you pay, for the maintenance of the estate. If it's an estate, house, if the house is inside an estate, so things like cleaning, security, etc. So those are like service charge you pay yearly. All right. Those are basically, then other costs, like I mentioned earlier, is maintenance, renovation, repairs, those things. So now when you weigh the two, again, the reason for making this video, especially as a first time buyer, you want to be sure. You're still trying to understand, should you buy land or house? That is why we're making this video, so that you can make proper decision based on information.
Yeah. Okay, so what we are going to do here is, if you've watched this video to this very point, do not forget to, if you have any question, ask us. Do not forget to like the video and also subscribe to the channel, because we are here to always give you the latest updates and also inform you to make the best buying decision right here in Abuja.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's give a simple framework on how you can start, whether it's the land you are considering or a house. So if you are looking to start up with land, you can just start investing on a low cost budget.
Yes.
Okay, you are just entering real estate for the first time. Land is something you should first of all focus on. Then you also want to grow your money, you can also consider investing in land, estate land like we mean. We also want to invest in land. You don't want heavy financial pressure. You don't want someone to pressure you, put you under pressure. You can start with investing in land.
Yes.
Then, if you're looking to invest or buy a house, maybe you're looking to put it out for rent or live in it or use it as a short-let, immediate use. So that is when a house is needed. You are also financially ready and you want to take full ownership and maintenance of a house.
Yes.
Then house is something you should go for. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But for most people starting out, generally, land is easier and smarter for the first step.
Yes.
So this is what we also want to let you know. Are we saying land is better or house? No, that's not what we're saying. We just want to know where you are and how you can scale from there.
Yes, exactly. And so while you're making a decision to buy a house, you know how you have to build that capital and build that money. Others have bought like 5 land in several areas. True. And that is the point here. The point is that what is your goal first? Why are you buying? 2, how much are you willing to spare now, for either land or house? Then you can now know where you're now heading to, right? Because if you're sitting down to make a decision, especially when you don't have the money, but you're just focused on houses and you still want to build wealth, then is it not wise to look for like 5 different locations, within Abuja, and then invest your money? After all, the good book say, sow your seed in the morning, sow in the afternoon, sow in the evening.
You do not know,
because you do not know the one. Instead of spending your money in one house or in one location, you have smartly just looked for 5 other locations. Who knows? 1 or 2 of them will just blow, and then you can now sell off there, take the money, build that house you want to build or buy a house you want to buy. So the point here is, do not just sit down waiting to accumulate all those huge funds for one house, right? Why not invest in several lands? But if the house is what you need based on your need, you want immediate use, and you want to probably rent out, like you said, for cash flow, then beautiful, the house is needed for you. But if you just want investment, something that can build over time, I appreciate over time, then you can just go ahead with the land. And speaking of which, we have some amazing places for you.
Exactly. Okay, I should go ahead and talk about it. All right, so we have a location currently in mind. We have several locations, like he said, but there's one on our list, and this location just came to the market. And one thing that makes this location very important and why we are sharing it with you is it's currently selling at a pre-sale price.
Yes.
A pre-sale price simply means you are buying at a cheaper and affordable price. It's not the market value. By the 1st of April, the market value of this particular property will now increase.
Yes.
Okay, so the name of this estate is called Crystal Estate, and it's located in Apowasa.
Yes.
Okay, Apowasa also is a strategic location in Abuja. In fact, there is a major connection from Gusape, just a straight lane, 10-lane road, all the way to Apo Junction.
Exactly.
Then we can veer off to this particular location.
Yes.
That's the second thing. Then it is selling for the 150 square meters. We are selling for 5.325 million naira. You see, very affordable place you can start investing in. Then we have three other options. 250 square meters, which is like 8 million naira. We also have 400 square meters, which is like 14.2 million naira. Then the last square meter we have is 750, where you can build your 6 units, 3-bedroom block of flats. Okay, so this location also has great title, which is an FCDA RFO property. This location also will help that person, that individual who is looking to start out real estate investment. It's easy to start. It's easy to watch your money literally grow before your very eyes. And we want that we help you secure this location before the price, would I say price increase? Or
before the launch, before it's released to the market.
Exactly.
So the point here is, you're looking to start out your new, you want to start out with lands or even houses within the city of Abuja. You can just reach us on the numbers showing on your screen or in the description of this video, and we would help you get started.
Yeah.
Again, you just need to understand why you want to invest. Then you will now decide whether it's lands or houses you want to invest in. And then, of course, we have your back to guide you all the way in ensuring that you get the best deals with your budget within the city of Abuja.
All right.
So I think that's it for now.
That brings us to the end of this video for today.
All right. So again, call the numbers. If you have any questions, concerns, just reach out to us and we'll happily assist you. All right. Till we come your way again. Enjoy a fantastic day.